Okay, great. So, first of all, good evening, everyone. Welcome back. And I hope now for discussion the topic, of course, veto powers and the discretion of the president. So, we know very well that there are certain areas where discretion of the president is there. He or she can act on his or her own, right? Then we saw the vice president. Important point was the removal of the vice president, Article 67, Clause B, right? Which can be initiated only uh, in the Rajya Sabha, right? Then we also saw the Prime Minister, Council of Ministers, Article 75, all the clauses one by one, 1A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Nayak article, collective accountability. Then we saw the topic cabinet types of ministers, right? So we have the cabinet ministers, we have the ministers of state, and the ministers of state independent charge. Three different categories, though not mentioned in the constitution, but we can very easily create a ministry through modifying the allocation of business rules that are there. Now, towards the end, we saw the point or the topic checks on cabinet, balanced cabinet, medium-sized cabinet, right? All these things. Today, we'll be covering the ground of some small topics like cabinet committees and attorney general. We'll also discuss the topic parliament today. At least we'll begin our discussion. And towards the last half an hour or 45 minutes or so, we'll also discuss some tips on answer writing. Of course, you are experts in answer writing, but some pointers there, right? And since you're all here now, good news for you. One more excuse of not studying regularly. Now the recordings are available forever and ever and ever, right? But again, I would insist because we have seen data which suggests that most people who miss out on the class watch the recording the very next day. And there are some who never watch it, just keep it pending. So please don't be that person, right? Please watch it regularly. So it's better to attend the live class only. Okay. Now let's begin our discussion. The standard procedure, first 5 questions. Yes, Bhuvnesh, always excited. 5 questions for the day. Okay. Beginning with the very first question, 45 seconds, or say 1 minute. Please mark the answer. Hope that you guys have seen the incorrect part and marked only 2, not the correct part and marked 2, right? And today, now please tell me which amazing people still did not see. Oh, why? Manam, always very aggressive on things, but here missing out. Right? Resignation, removal, or death, of course, is correct. She or she is elected by a college which comprises of the members of both the houses, excluding the nominated members. No, including them. Wrong. And the qualification for being a VP are the same as that for the president. No. VP, you have to be eligible to be an MP in the Rajya Sabha, and for president, MP in the Lok Sabha. Okay. So this is also wrong. How many statements are wrong? 2 are wrong. Yes, Roshan, tell me. Oh, my option is only wrong. So sad. Please tell me what is the correct option. I am 100% sure that some of you saw this as correct and marked 2 as correct. Are we clear? And here I have mentioned where we had seen all these topics. Look at this. VP is the acting president in all these circumstances taught in the class. This is for the vice president, qualified for election as a member of Rajya Sabha. This is for the president, qualified for election as a member of Lok Sabha. The difference. And this is the electoral college, which comprises of all the MPs. Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, elected, nominated. So now I'll also keep on including the places where we have actually seen those topics. It takes a lot of effort, but no problem. I'll do this also every day. So it'll just be a reminder for you that these are topics which have been taught. Okay. Moving on to the as per the constitution. So now the recordings are available. You can go and see. I had said clearly, constitutionally different, practically the same, but as per the constitution, it is different. Are you clear? As per the constitution, I think 3 is only incorrect. Roshan, sir, this one, 2 is incorrect, sir. Please, I am showing this to you here. Electoral College, Article 66, comprises of members of both the houses, including the nominated members, not excluding them. Including them, sir. Please. Now, second question. Please mark the answer. Oh, number of ministers, including the PM, in the council shall not exceed 15% of the total number of members of the parliament or Lok Sabha only. Of the House of People, only Lok Sabha. I did the calculation also. What is this? One is wrong. The Constitution provides that the Prime Minister shall communicate to the President all decisions. Absolutely correct. This is Article 78. So we have discussed this, Article 78, screenshot from the PPT. And of course, it is the 42nd Amendment Act, not the 40th. I think this was pretty easy. So this is of course wrong. Only one is correct. A is the answer. Okay. Now, moving to question number 3. Advice of Council of Ministers. So appointing a PM when no party attains majority. Appointing a PM when no party has a clear majority. This is a discretionary power. How can he be bound? Of course not. Pocket veto. Discretionary power. Of course not. A temporary delay of an ordinary legislation bill, even when the Lok Sabha has a confidence in the Council of Ministers. So this is nothing but a different way of writing suspensive veto. Temporary delay. What is suspensive veto? It does not prevent the passage of bill, but only for a small period. You can cause a delay by sending back the bill, and that is a discretionary power of the president, suspensive veto. So in none of the cases is the president bound by the advice of the council. D, none. Okay. Moving on to the fourth question. Fourth question now. Please don't tell me you did not see this word incorrect and mark the right answer by mistake. Nominated members of the houses are debarred. No, they are not debarred. Right? PM ministers, any house, elected or nominated. Anybody can be a minister. So one is wrong. To continue to be the Prime Minister, the person must become a member of either house within 6 months from the date of his appointment as a Prime Minister. Is absolutely correct. Article 75, Clause 5, the Nayak article. So what is incorrect? A. One only is incorrect, right? And the last question for today is this. Interesting. Aims to facilitate meeting of urgent unforeseen expenditure by the government without any need for parliamentary authorization whatsoever. Without any need. When you take out money from the contingency fund, not at that point of time, but afterwards, authorization is required. Approval required after expenditure, not before. That's a difference between CFI and contingency fund. That authorization is required. It's just that it is required after expenditure. So one is wrong. This fund is kept at the disposal of the Prime Minister. Of course, is wrong. This fund is placed at the disposal of the President, right? And it is mandatory for the Parliament to create such a fund. Let's read this. Parliament by law can create. It's not shall, can create. Are we clear? Okay, so this is also wrong. It is not mandatory. It can be created. So now, how many statements are correct? Nothing is correct. D, none. Are we all okay? No more excuses. Everything was taught, explained at some point of time. So please don't blame me for not mentioning things. I hope that you will now blame yourself and not me, as is the usual scenario. And yes, leaderboard. Oh, don't tell me today also we have 15 toppers. This will be too much of coincidence. Oh, 11 toppers today. And that's it. Then Abhishek, Rajanandini, Pallavi, right? Who are these new names? That you are just getting confused. It's all mentioned here only. So no problem. Second question, please. If this is a concern, it's mentioned here, right? Let's move on. Okay, no problem. So others, please revise again and again the PPTs. Rather than watching the entire video again, revise PPTs, selectively watch the video when and where required. Because watching the entire video takes 3.5 hours. Time is very important. Okay, so revise efficiently, selectively watching it, and focusing more on mugging up PPTs again and again and again. Okay. So before we move on to the chapter Parliament, two small topics remain. First one is the Cabinet Committee, right? So what is this Cabinet Committee? Let me help you understand. People of this country, you and me, we are busy in our lives preparing for UPSC, for our jobs, right? Daily trials and tribulations in life, so many problems to deal with, right? So we cannot govern ourselves. We can't make laws for ourselves. So what people do is that people will choose, we will choose some people called MPs, right? Legislators. Legislators who sit in the legislature. These are the MPs, members of parliament, who will make laws for us because we are too busy in our life. Now, in the house also, these MPs make the laws, but collectively you cannot all implement the laws. So within the MPs, some people are a part of government. What we call is the executive, the government, COM, Council of Ministers. They are the ones who are responsible for implementing the decisions of the parliament in the country. Okay. Now, in this government also, some people who are the senior people, The senior ministers, they are the ones who are actually running the show. Yes or no? And what are they called? These most senior people. Tell me, what are they called? They are called cabinet. The senior most people. Now, this cabinet comprises of 25 to 30 people, right? Comprising of the prime minister, home minister, defense minister, education minister, so many people. Now, think of a situation. We want to say uh, deal with the issue of pandemic issue. Entire cabinet of 30 people sits and decides what to do. It serves no purpose. Why not only those ministers sit and resolve the problem who are related to the topic? Yes or no? It is more appropriate that the health minister, the PM, etc. sit. Why to call the minister of art and culture? No point. If you are going to attack Pakistan, then 4 or 5 ministers are required: prime minister, home minister, defense minister, maybe finance minister. Why do you want the minister for Panchayati Raj? Makes no sense. If you have the minister of Panchayati Raj sitting in the meeting where discussion going on is attacking Pakistan. Are you getting my point here? So for select tasks, there is absolutely no need to call all the senior ministers, right? So what we have done is, in this cabinet also, we have further created smaller groups. These groups comprising of cabinet ministers only, but with a specific task allocated. For each task, a different group can be chosen. This group is what is known as cabinet committee. Cabinet committee. Did we understand the concept of cabinet committee? Everybody now? All okay? No problem? So this is why we have cabinet committees. Ashay will always have some issue. Tell me, Ashay. And second. Vaibhav, we'll come to it later on. Next topic is parliament only. So this is the cabinet committee. Now, look at this meeting going on. A cabinet meeting. You have the prime minister, some senior ministers are there, right? Senior ministers are there who are sitting. Look at the dry fruits available in front of ministers, right? Rich, posh life. In our meeting, we have Parle-G biscuits. In their meeting, dry fruits. Okay, of course. It's all taxpayers' money, right? So they better not waste it. Don't worry. You will also enjoy all these things, right? IAS officers also come in this meeting and take notes. So focus on eating as many dry fruits as possible. Don't focus on the work. Dry fruits can wait. Please. Anyway, so now, how do we explain this point? In a proper definition, we can simply say that CC. What is a CC? CC is a reference to what? Cabinet committees. CCs are organizational devices which reduce the workload of the cabinet, which reduce the workload of cabinet. Not just this, they also help in managing the very complicated and complex activities of the government. Complex activities of the government. This is what is a cabinet committee, CC. Clear? Now, these CCs are not mentioned in the constitution. Please don't go and start searching which is the article, where is the article. No. If you remember, there is an article 77 clause 3. Do you remember this? Article 77 clause 3. The president can make rules for the convenient transaction of business and for the allocation of business of the to the ministers. So there are two rules. One was the allocation of business rules, where what task will be performed by what minister is mentioned. So we saw that was the rule where you have ministries. The other rule was Government of India transaction of business rules. So cabinet committees are mentioned in the Government of India transaction of business rules. They are neither mentioned in the constitution nor are they statutory bodies. They are executive bodies. Hence, extra constitutional, meaning not mentioned in the constitution. So, let me simply ask you a question. The ministries and their tasks they perform is mentioned in which rules? Government of India allocation of business rules. Types of cabinet committees, their name, the tasks they perform, where is that mentioned? The Government of India transaction of business rules. Ministries allocation, cabinet committee transaction. Please repeat wherever you are. Ministries allocation, cabinet committees transaction. Clear? Please remember this. Now, what will be the name of a committee to perform a task? How many members? Who are the members? All this is decided by the Prime Minister. Are we clear? In your books, they will mention this thing that committees have 3 to 8 members. That is wrong actually. Some committees have more than 8 members, and some committee has less than 3 members also. So nomenclature, name, and number of CCs plus membership, meaning which person will be a member of this committee. Who decides that? PM decides. Simple. Clear? Now, cabinet committees can be of two kinds. Let me tell you please one more thing. Let us say we want to attack Pakistan. So we create a cabinet committee to destroy Pakistan. The name of the committee is CC, to destroy Pakistan. Cabinet committee to destroy Pakistan. Now this cabinet committee will say comprise of Prime Minister, Defense Minister, Home Minister, Finance Minister. That's it. 4 people. Once we have attacked Pakistan and destroyed Pakistan, the task of the CC is over. Yes or no? Now why will the cabinet committee meet? There's no point. The purpose is achieved. So when the purpose is achieved, the committee stops meeting. Simple. So such committees which are set up for a very specific purpose, for a temporary period only, those committees are called ad hoc committees. The meaning of this word ad hoc is temporary. Ad hoc means temporary. Meaning, word meaning, temporary. But if you look at the running of this country, in our country, some things will always keep on happening. Maintaining the security of the country, deciding on economic policies, deciding on investment, growth, skill upgradation, right? Appointing senior people. These things always happen, right? So certain committees take care of these kind of tasks. Those committees are called standing committees. Standing means permanent. Permanent committees. They will always be there because you always need these committees. Because the task of these committees is what? To give recommendations on topics which always are important for the nation. Now, one point I am mentioning here, and what I am mentioning is correct. Please don't later on tell me, sir, in book something else is mentioned. I don't really care. If the book is not updating itself, then don't blame me. What I am telling you is the information that is available on government website and public domain. So, who are the members of these committees? Members. As the name suggests, cabinet committees can only have cabinet ministers as members. Are we clear? Other ministers cannot become members of these committees. It is not allowed only. But you will also see that other people can be called to get their opinion, get their expertise. Allowed. That term for them is special invitee. Other ministers can take part in the meetings as special invitee. Clear? So they can come, but they can come as special invitees. Same goes for bureaucrats also. They can be asked to come take down notes and all. So that's there. Those are the administrative staff. Don't count bureaucrats. Bureaucrats are administrative staff. Somebody has to make notes and all these, right? That's why they are called. Are we clear on this? Everybody? Now, coming to the permanent or the standing cabinet committees, because ad hoc committees are of no concern to us. They will be made, they will be abolished, etc., dissolved at regular intervals. But what is of concern to us are these permanent cabinet committees. We have 8 such committees, 8 of them. 6 of them were there since a long period of time. The last two, these two, are there since 2019. So in the month of June 2019, 2 more permanent cabinet committees were created. Cabinet Committee on Investment and Growth, CC on Employment and Skill Development. Now you can see in front of every committee's name, in the bracket we have CM. CM stands for those who have a difficulty in understanding, CM stands for chairman. Chairman or chairperson. So you can see that in almost every cabinet committee, the PM is the chairperson. PM, Prime Minister, is a chairperson. Prime Minister is a chairperson. Prime Minister is a chairperson. Here also, Prime Minister. Here also, Prime Minister. Meaning in all these committees, PM is a member. Then there are some committees, or rather one committee, where the chairman is the Home Minister. Home Minister. And there are some committees where the chairman is the Defense Minister. Okay? Defense Minister. Are we clear? Again, I will tell you, it may be possible that in your book, this could be mentioned as Home Minister. Clear? But that is old information. Since 2019 only, Minister for Defense has become the chairperson of this committee. Okay? So this is the cabinet committees. Now these cabinet committees, their functions is not really important. I'll just brief you on the functions that these committees perform. But anyway, if somebody says, no, sir, I want to know what functions they perform, I have this habit of reading useless information, feel free. Who is stopping you? Your life, make it large. If you want to know the functions in detail, please download this rule. Government of India, transaction of business rules 1961, and there you have a schedule 1. This schedule 1 mentions the functions each committee performs. Though I'll tell you again, the functions of these cabinet committees are not really important. So please, okay. Ganga says, there will be many files. Which one to download? Sir, there is only one file. You at least Google search for it first. Okay? And then find out. There is only one major rule, 1961 rule. Okay. Again, I am telling you, please don't mug up the function of these committees. It will never be asked in the examination. But if some people, enthusiastic people, want to, then you can. Anyway, appointment committee of cabinet. Committee number 1. So on one side, I'll also write number of members. Again, don't mug up this information. So when I say something, I don't really understand why some people, few of you only, not all, why to blame everybody, just handful of 4 5 same people, they ask the exact same question. So if I say, don't mug up number of members, after 2 minutes somebody will ask, sir, should we mug up number of members? Of course not. So don't mug up all this. Names you should know as examples. That's it. Number of members. First one is the appointment committee of the cabinet. It has only 2 people. One person, Narendra Modi, the PM, who is the chairman. Other person is Mr. Amit Shah. That's it. Only 2 people are members of this committee. And what's the task of this committee? What's the name? Appointment committee of the cabinet. Meaning what? They make recommendations regarding all higher level appointments in the cabinet secretariat, in public enterprises, banks, financial institutions, etc. They make recommendations to the cabinet, the senior group of ministers, and then the cabinet approves it and task is done. Okay. Then we have the cabinet committee on accommodation. This is a very interesting committee. Cabinet committee on accommodation. So I'm sure some of you here are trying to appear for this examination. It has 5 members trying to appear for this examination for what's the reason for clearing the examination? Prestige, power, or corruption? Oh, sorry, I forgot the interview answer. Serving the nation. Sorry, I forgot that. But anyway, yes. Here also fake. Very good. Maintain this fake behavior till the interview. Social service, welfare, great, amazing. Don't say all this. In the interview board, if you say all this, they'll say, if you want social service, please join an NGO. Okay? So don't say serving the people, etc. If you make all these statements, then in the interview they'll say, then why don't you join an NGO? Right? Anyway. But also a very important element, a lot of you would agree, is the prestige and power. Roshan, you are being observed and your comments are being observed again and again. Right? Okay. So you also, a lot of you would want to, of course, join the service for, say, prestige, power, etc. And one very important element of prestige is the idea of having a nice bungalow. Sardarni and Amit, firstly, let's clear the examination, prelims, mains. Then we'll discuss what to say in the interview. Calm down. Okay. So anyway, same goes for ministers also, MPs also. Don't MPs have the same dreams and all? Have a nice bungalow. And you'll be surprised that whenever you lose elections, you have to give up on the bungalow, because the bungalow is meant for an MP or a minister. If you have lost the election, leave, vacate it. But some of our MPs, MLAs, ministers, etc., don't vacate the bungalow. They keep on staying there. There are these amazing stories. One such story was in the case of one CM of a state. I won't name the state. So the CM, when he lost the elections, he took with him the taps, shower installations, pipe fittings, etc. from the CM's bungalow, saying that I had gotten all these installed. I am taking this away. Come on, you are a CM. What is all this? Okay, but anyway, no, I am not naming anybody. Please don't take names and don't force me to taking names. In fact, where there was a case where one CM, or sorry, spouse of CM had a large, number of cattle, buffaloes, cows, kept in the CM's bungalow only. And when the spouse lost elections, a new party came to power. They took around 7-8 months to vacate the bungalow. Right? Again, why to take names of any person? No problem. So this happens. It's very common. So for that, now we have a cabinet committee. The task of the CC on accommodation is to determine the guidelines or rules and terms and conditions to govern out of turn allotment of government accommodation, right? Also, if any non-eligible person uh, wants to stay in the bungalow, meaning you have lost the elections, you're no longer MP, but you still want to stay in the government bungalow, then what rent should be charged from you for certain months? Because it is possible that you can say just please don't throw me out, please, I cannot able to find a place only. So you can be allowed to stay, but you have to pay some rent, right? So what rent should be charged and all, this committee decides. CC on accommodation, look at this committee's chairman is the home minister, on whose shoulder is the burden of internal security of the country, is acting like a rent collector. I mean, this task could be performed by any group of bureaucrats, but for that we have made a cabinet committee, right? So that is why it's a very serious concern, right? Now, third committee is the cabinet committee on economic affairs. This committee has 9 people. And cabinet committee on economic affairs, as the name suggests, is all about making the economic policies. So to direct, to coordinate the governmental activities in the economic sphere, to review all the economic trends in the country, right? And also evolving policies which are consistent with the country's framework, country's growth, to also review the progress of activities of rural development concerning small farmers and marginal farmers. All these tasks performed by the economic affairs, CC on economic affairs. In fact, whenever the government tries to sell its assets, that is called disinvestment. What is investment? When I purchase assets, investing. If I sell my assets, sell my share, that's called disinvestment. So it is this Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs which also considers issues related to disinvestment. Then also considering issues which relate to the World Trade Organizations, etc. Right? So this is the task of the CC on economic affairs. Then we have the CC on parliamentary affairs. This is the committee whose task is, or firstly, chaired by CM, chairman, chaired by defense minister. I mentioned here CM, chairman, okay, chaired by defense minister. So what's the task of this committee? In the parliament, to observe the progress of government business and also giving directions to ensure the smooth and efficient conduct of business. Basically, to also know what is the opinion of other parties in the parliament on the bills that they are bringing, right? Then to consider proposals of summoning or ending the house. Are you clear? So we also saw the case yesterday when the announcement has been made of a special session which will be called. Yes or no? Special session which will be called. So what is the reason, etc.? We don't know, and we don't want to guess also. Let's wait for the special session to convene, and then we'll see what exactly is the plan of the government. Anyway, so it is this Parliamentary Affairs Committee which takes care of that particular aspect. Clear? This CC on Parliamentary Affairs, of course, is chaired by the, as I said, Defense Minister. It has 10 members. I am repeating again, number of members, it is not important. Then the CC on Political Affairs, 13 members, 13 ministers. And this is by and large the largest cabinet committee. And this is also known, this is also called super cabinet. The topmost of the topmost, the cream of the cream. Those people are a part of this committee on political affairs, right? So as the name suggests, super cabinet, this committee has a very, very important task. In fact, this is a committee which looks into center state relations, okay, which is a very serious concern in a country like India with such diversity. All issues dealing with center state relations, right? And also to look into political issues which plague the country, right? To deal with policy matters which concern foreign affairs, right? So all these things are looked into by the CC on political affairs. As I said, Garimaji, functions of CC need to be learned. Exactly what I said. Please watch the video. You'll get to know whether the functions were to be learned or not. I have said this almost 4 or 5 times now. Okay. Shweta, work of CC required for the examination. Guys, I hope I am audible to everybody. For the last time, please. CCs have no scope of being asked in the examination. In all likelihood, the functions will not be asked. Not a single question has ever been asked from this topic so far. So functions is the last thing that UPSC will ask. But in case somebody wants to mug up, please do. Nobody can stop you. My advice is ignore it. Just have a rough idea on what these committees are, some special information like those committees which are chaired by people other than the Prime Minister, like this committee and this committee, and their overall advantage and overall challenges. That's what is sufficient. Nothing beyond this. Okay. Then we have the okay. Then we have the CC on security, Cabinet Committee on Security. As the name suggests, the focus is on dealing with all the defense related issues. This committee on all the defense related issues. For example, recently when we purchased the Rafale 26 Rafale marine fighters, this committee gave recommendation that yes, purchase very good, right? Then to deal with issues relating to law and order and the internal security, to deal with policy matters concerning security angle in the foreign affairs, right? So all these things, and also considering matters of atomic energy, the CC on security. Then the last two committees, very simple task, of course, the CC on investment and CC on employment and skill development. So as the name suggests, the CC on investment looks into giving approvals for investments in the country, and the CC on employment and skill development looks to do what? Give recommendations on how to improve the situation of skilling the people in the country, how to provide for skills to people so that they become eligible for jobs, etc. And these two, the last three committees have 5, 9, and 10 members respectively. 5 members in this committee, 9 here, and 10 here. That's it. Done. Nothing beyond this is important. Now, what is the advantage of having these committees? So, of course, the first advantage is that now it reduces the burden on cabinet. Why? Because the CC, Cabinet Committee, will now give recommendation to the cabinet. A task which was to be decided by 30 people, now 5, 6 people, 8, 9 people from the related fields, they decide and give recommendation. So it saves the time of cabinet, right? Point number 1. Number 2, it also promotes interdepartmental coordination. Sometimes ministers can be sitting, see, every minister has to perform tasks which are best suited for his own ministry. For example, let's say you want to launch a project, you want to invest, set up some kind of industry in the country. Now, when you want to set up an industry, of course, Ministry of Commerce is very pleased about it. More industries means the minister is performing very well. But when you set up an industry, you also are going to impact somehow the environment, forest, etc. So the Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, they will be upset. What is this chopping down trees? Because that minister wants to perform best for his own ministry. Yes, they are a part of government, but individually also they want to perform very well, right? So there could be a tussle between these two ministers. But if they are sitting together in one committee only, then it is easy to ensure coordination, and also they can keep a check on each other to ensure that the Minister for Commerce and Industry does not give sanction to any kind of project, and the Minister for Environment does not raise obstacles in every industrial investment, keeping a check on each other. Checks and also improves coordination. Then, because the size is smaller than the cabinet, the deliberations, the discussions become more effective. And see, let's take the example of, say, defense minister or say finance minister. The finance minister also has had experience of working in the defense ministry earlier, right? So today she's a finance minister, but since she already has experience of working in the defense ministry, Nirmala Sitharaman, right now, why should the defense ministry not take advantage of her expertise in that field? So if a minister has expertise in multiple areas, it is more appropriate for the people there to take advantage of that ministry in all those areas. Yes or no? Very important. So It also helps in securing maximum possible expertise of the ministers. So, a minister, if he or she has expertise in multiple areas, they can be a part of multiple committees and can give recommendations, their suggestions to other ministers also and in other fields also, right? And ultimately, this ensures a sense of collective responsibility because of the concept of collective decision making. 4 or 5 people have come together to look at anything with all multiple possible angles and have given a suggestion. That's it, the advantages. But there are some issues also, or limitations also. Limitation number one. See, look at this appointment committee of cabinet. So I had mentioned that this committee's task is to make recommendations on appointments, all higher level appointments, like public enterprises, banks, financial institutions, etc. This committee has two people, prime minister and home minister. Now, if you are going to make recommendations on the appointment of a public sector bank, who will be the chairman of a public sector bank, don't you think finance minister is the better authority to make such a recommendation? Yes or no? But sadly, that's not the case. Why? Because maybe the PM's best friend is the home minister, who knows? So, membership is based on political consideration. Who is a senior in the party, not based on actually expertise. We may feel, oh, experts, but not really. It all depends on who is a senior in the party, and they are given preference in being made a member of a committee. Then every committee has same kind of members: prime minister, home minister, defense minister, finance minister, etc. So because of common membership, multiple meetings of different committees at the same time cannot take place. So meetings become irregular due to common membership, same ministers in multiple committees. Now, some CCs, what are CCs? Cabinet committees. Some CCs are set up on trivial, very unimportant, very small, petty kind of issues. A very good example is the CC on accommodation. Now, you please tell me, is it appropriate? The country's security in the hands of these people, and the CC on accommodation, comprising of Amit Shah, Nitin Gadkari, Piyush Goyal, Nirmala Sitaraman. Come on, these people have better things to do. They should not be a part of this rent collecting committee. This kind of task can be given to any senior bureaucrat who can be tasked with this kind of activity. So sometimes set up on very petty, unimportant, trivial issues. It's an English word. Sometimes if you don't get an English word, you can Google for the meaning also, right? Okay. And one more thing. These cabinet committees are making a recommendation. Yes or no? Recommendation to the cabinet. Now please tell me, the cabinet includes the prime minister? Yes or no? PM is there. And most cabinet committees have the PM. Now, if the PM is a chairman of a committee and the committee gives a suggestion to the cabinet, all the ministers, do you think the cabinet will ever raise a question on that suggestion? It is coming from the committee where the PM was a chairman. This means the committee has given a recommendation which has been approved by the prime minister. Now, other ministers, will they raise a concern that no, recommendation is not nice? If they raise a concern, sir, ma'am, you resign tomorrow. We have a new minister. Simple. You are trying to give recommendations, you are trying to question the recommendations given by a person who has appointed you, right? This is a serious concern. Are you clear? So, rather, I think the better suggestion would be to have junior ministers in these committees. who can then give a recommendation, and then the cabinet can decide on these recommendations. So that makes completely no sense that the PM becomes member of every committee, because then when the recommendation comes, it is not a recommendation, it's an order actually. The PM is not giving recommendation, right? I mean, you may call it recommendation, but it is an order only. It's like we say that aid and advice. Articles, look at the language. Article 74 says that the president acts on the aid and advice. So nice. Advice. Is it advice or an order? Tell me. It's an order only. If I cannot refuse, it's an order only, but presented in a nice manner. So cabinet committees don't give advice, recommendation. They are giving order only, because PM is a chairperson. So revision of decisions cannot take place. Are we clear? Recommendations are never binding. Please understand. How can a recommendation be binding? The word recommendation itself means it is not binding. So please don't make a statement, is the recommendation binding? It cannot be binding, right? Plus, it is actually an extra constitutional body. So it is not binding. But because PM is a member and he gives recommendation, if your father tells you and gives you some suggestion, he is saying, I am giving you a suggestion only. But you know very well, it is not a suggestion, it's an order. He is just being nice and polite. He's in a good mood, right? So he's giving a suggestion. If you start questioning it, one tight slap, and you realize, oh, by mistake, it was order only, right? So these are the advantages, and that's it. We are done with the cabinet committees. Simple topic, easy to understand. In the book Lakshmikant, you can find this in chapter 21. So in case anybody wants to read Lakshmikant, they can read chapter 21. Okay. Now coming to the last person in the executive, Attorney General of India. It's a constitutional body. Okay. Constitutional body. And it is mentioned under Article 76. So it is a constitutional body, and currently the Attorney General of India, this person is this person is, oh, it seems like I have slit his throat only. Sorry, let's not make a photo like that. R. Venkat Ramani. The previous Attorney General was K.K. Venugopal, and how do you, in very few words, define who is this person? Simple. This person is the highest law officer in the country, and this person is the lawyer of the government. Are we clear? Everybody? Simple. This person is a lawyer of the government. Somebody says this person is human. Of course, this person is human, right? So, lawyer. CAG and AG, Abhishek, are two different people. CAG stands for Comptroller and Auditor General, separate body, Article 148. Attorney General, auditor, auditing government expenditure, questioning the government. This person helping the government. Why would government need a lawyer? Government needs a lawyer because there are so many cases filed against the government in various courts. Sometimes for rights of people, sometimes to Look at Article 370 case. It is filed against the government only, right? So all these cases are fought against the government. An attorney general is the head who fights all these cases on behalf of the government. Chief Justice of India is a judge. Attorney general is a lawyer. Judge gives judgments. Lawyer fights and argues in court. Two different tasks, Bhuvnesh. Okay. Now, how is this person appointed? How is he removed? Qualification, tenure. All these things are mentioned in the Constitution under Article 76. Okay. Now, this person is appointed by the president and removed by the president only. What's the procedure? Nothing is mentioned in the Constitution. Procedure, how to remove, not mentioned in the Constitution. So they can be removed at any point of time. If he or she does not perform well, the PM can say, President, remove this fellow. Removed. Simple. Their tenure, not mentioned in the Constitution. For how long can they serve? Depends on the Prime Minister. But one small point, there is a rule in the country. That rule is called Law Officers Conditions of Service Rules. In these rules, their salaries, etc., are mentioned of 1972. In these rules, the current government, BJP, has made the tenure of Attorney General as 3 years. This current government has done it in 2017, but they are not following it. KK Venugopal, the former Attorney General, his tenure was extended 2 times. So, but as per these rules, tenure 3 years, but nothing is mentioned in the Constitution. No tenure is mentioned. And who is allowed to become Attorney General? You should be qualified to become a Supreme Court judge. So whatever is the qualification of Supreme Court judge, it's the exact same qualification to become the Attorney General. Now, what's the qualification to be a Supreme Court judge? We'll discuss once we study judiciary. That will be in week number 3. Okay. So these are the points as far basic information as far as Attorney General is concerned. I am repeating once again. This article is important. Make sure you remember Article 76. Now, one more article that you should know is Article 88. So one question, I'm not sure if you would know, but just to ask you. Nirmala Sitharaman is a finance minister. Does anyone know which house she belongs to? That is, she is the MP of which house? Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? Any idea? Okay, so Nirmala Sitharaman is the MP of Rajya Sabha. For those who don't know, she is an MP from in Rajya Sabha, not Lok Sabha. But she comes in the Lok Sabha and gives the budget speech. Yes or no? Gives the budget speech. Similarly, my question is, can the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, he is an MP from which house? Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? Tell me. Lok Sabha? Of course. My question now is, can the Prime Minister go and sit in the Rajya Sabha? Is it allowed? Can he start giving a speech in the Rajya Sabha? Is it allowed? Recently, Rajya Sabha MPs wanted the PM to come in the house and give the his opinion or answer on the Manipur issue. This means that there is a possibility. And you would have observed that Nirmala Sitaraman also comes to Lok Sabha and reads the budget there only. So basically, ministers are allowed to sit and speak in either house. Are you clear? Article 88 allows this. Every minister and the attorney general, both these people, minister and attorney general, have the right to, number one, speak, take part in the proceedings of either house, any joint sitting, any committee also of which they are made a member. They can sit in any house, they can speak in any house, and they can also be a part of any committee of any house. So a minister of Lok Sabha, a minister who is an MP in Lok Sabha, can be a part of a committee in Rajya Sabha also. A minister who is an MP in the Rajya Sabha can be a part of committee in Lok Sabha also. Ministers are allowed. Are you clear? But they are, because of this right given, are not entitled to vote. Why? Because voting is based on membership. So you are allowed to vote in only that house of which you are an MP. So Narendra Modi can go and sit in the Rajya Sabha, can speak in the Rajya Sabha, can take part in committee meetings of Rajya Sabha, but cannot vote in the Rajya Sabha. Nirmala Sitharaman can speak in the Lok Sabha, can sit in the Lok Sabha, can take part in committee of Lok Sabha, but cannot vote in the Lok Sabha. Are we clear? Everybody. Article 88. So this also includes Attorney General. Clear? Attorney General can sit in any house, can speak in any house, can take part in any committee of any house, cannot vote in any house, because Attorney General is not a member of any house. Are we clear on this? Okay, that's it. Now, what are the functions? What are the functions performed by Attorney General? So, function number one, to give advice to government on legal matters, because after all, you are the lawyer of the government, so you should give advice on legal matters. To also perform duties of a legal character. If the president wants him to perform some legal duty, he'll perform it. And of course, the most important function, to appear on behalf of Government of India in all cases in the Supreme Court. Are we clear? Whenever the Government of India is concerned in any case, it is the Attorney General who will sit or who will take part in the case on behalf of the government. He will fight the case on behalf of the government. Then, to also appear in any high court. If in some high court there's a case against Government of India, Attorney General will go and take part in that case also. Now, please tell me one thing. There are thousands and thousands of cases against the government being heard every day across the country in various courts of the country. Do you think it is even logical to consider this point that the attorney general will be able to take part in all the cases, prepare all the cases, study all the cases? Let's be reasonable. One person, how will he or she be able to handle all the cases? So, to help them out, there are some other people. One such person is called Solicitor General of India, and we have additional Solicitor Generals of India also. So we have, now these people, these posts are not mentioned in the constitution. Are we clear? They are mentioned in these rules called law officers, but nothing about them in the constitution. These people, currently we have around 20 plus ASGs and one SG. These people take part in the cases across the country, helping the attorney general. So they assist the attorney general in the fulfillment of his official responsibility. And what is that responsibility? To sit in the Supreme Court and High Court and fight cases on behalf of the government. Clear? Now, one more point. Powers under, and who appoints these people? The government appoints these people. SG and ASG are appointed by the government. Now, one more thing. We have something called contempt of court. Ignore this for now. To be discussed under Article 19, fundamental rights. Clear? So, this is it. The functions of the Attorney General of India. Just a small point. For those who do not know, lawyer, advocate, difference. Anybody who has a degree in law, is called a lawyer. Okay? So today you get a degree in law, you become a lawyer. But advocates are those people who are allowed to argue in court, fight cases in court. To become an advocate, lawyers have to clear the bar council examination. A separate examination has to be cleared, which makes you eligible to fight cases in court. Otherwise, you cannot fight cases in court. So in the movies, if they show suddenly the hero says, I'll fight my own case, you have to be an advocate to fight your case in the court. Okay? So fight in court, argue in court, take part in court cases, etc. This is a person. There is also one more term called jurist, Jurist. Jurist is somebody who is an expert. He's not a judge. Expert in the field of law. This person is called jurist. Okay? Jurist. So that's basic information. Right? Dheeraj, barrister. Vaibhav, barrister. Who is a barrister? Barrister is somebody not in India. Barrister as a concept is in UK. So in UK, the task of preparing a case and actually arguing in court are given to two different people. So the person who argues in court is called a barrister in UK. In India, advocates perform both the functions. They prepare their case, they also argue their case. Clear? Okay, that's it. Now, some more points on Attorney General, some limitations. Limitation number 1. First limitation is that since you are the government's lawyer, please don't give any advice or hold any brief, meaning meeting. Okay? Discussion. Brief means meeting, discussion. Hold any brief against Government of India only. You are government's lawyer. Why are you giving advice against government only? That is wrong. So don't do it. Number 2. If you want, see, Attorney General is not a government employee. Let me just clarify this. Attorney General is not a government employee. Attorney Generals are allowed to have private practice, meaning You and me can also approach them, ask them, sir, please take up my case. They can do it if they are free. Normally, they are never free, so they will not do it, but they can do it. Clear? So, the Attorney General is not debarred from private legal practice. They can take up private practice, meaning they can take up a case for you and me. They will not because they are too busy. Government has too many cases, right? And of course, these are big lawyers. You and me, will we be able to afford them? Rich, elite lawyers, top lawyers of this country, they charge anywhere close to 25 to 30 lakh rupees per case per day. Yes, yes, you heard me right. Per case per day. Okay. So of course, there's a big team of the lawyer, but still, that's why they are extremely rich people, the top lawyers. Okay. Please don't leave the session and start preparing for law right now. Have patience, because the legal profession is a very closed profession. Okay. Outsiders, just like the cinema industry, are not really welcome. Uh, so, limitations. Second limitation is, as I said, the Attorney General can defend accused persons in criminal cases also. But if you want to, let's say somebody has filed a criminal case against you, that you committed a crime, you want R. Venkat Ramani or Tushar Mehta, the Solicitor General, to fight a case for you, you can approach them, no problem. But the point is that before taking up a case, they need the permission of Government of India. Without government's permission, they cannot take up individual's case in a criminal matter. Are we clear? And one more thing, without the permission of Government of India, cannot accept any appointment to any private company. Can't accept appointment to any private company. Clear? So these people are basically private individuals who are for a temporary period on the government's payroll to fight for the government their cases. Of course, they don't belong to any political party. They will not, but largely they are supporting the ruling party only, right? You may say that no, sir, the Attorney General is a lawyer of government, but frankly, they are the lawyers of ruling party. But yes, ideally they should be the lawyers for government only, not for ruling party. Their agenda should be to represent the government, not ruling party's view. Okay, that's there. Shivam, you tell me, Attorney General is a lawyer or advocate? You tell me. Kumari, Attorney General will only fight the case for the government. Clear? Okay. So that's it. We are done with the topic Attorney General. Explained everything properly without any confusion. In case there's any confusion, how much they charge per case? They charge per case. See, they are getting a very small fees, say around 40,000 rupees as a monthly retainer. But per case charge is very high. I mean, not as high as the private lawyer. Of course, government cannot pay all these amounts, but still it's sufficiently high to get a very decent amount, way beyond the salary of an IAS officer. The starting salary of IAS officer is roughly around 65 to 70,000 rupees, and the highest salary of an IAS officer can go to only 2.5 lakh rupees per month, plus other perks. Nothing beyond that. That's it. Lakshmi, Mayank Wadhwani, ruling party and government are not the same. Actually, they should not be the same. right? BJP is the ruling, BJP is the party, but some of the BJP people have become ministers. So once you are a part of government, ideally, you should refrain from doing favors for your own party. But in reality, we know that they are one and the same only. Yes or no? Okay, that's it. Every point has been explained. If somebody has joined late or joined right now, please look at the recorded videos. Great. Now, please solve this question. Let's see how many of you are able to mark the correct answer. I will give you 45 seconds. Take the answer, please. Okay. Attorney General of India and Solicitor General of India are the only officers of government who are allowed to participate in the meetings. No, not this person. Article 88 mentions which person's name? Ministers and Attorney General only. Wrong. According to the Constitution of India, the Attorney General of India submits his resignation when the government which appointed him resigns. So, whenever the government which appointed him resigns, they submit the resignation. Is this mentioned in the Constitution? Tell me, where is it mentioned? This fact is not mentioned. This was used earlier as a practice normally, but it is not mentioned in the Constitution. So both are wrong. D, neither one nor two. One more question comes in. This question came in 2013, and the same topic comes every time. Article 88. UPSC is obsessed with Article 88, it seems. Member of Committee of Lok Sabha? Yes. Can speak in the Lok Sabha? Yes. Can vote in the Lok Sabha? No. 1, 2, 3. C is the right answer. Are we clear? This is also the same old story. Article 88, UPSC's favorite. Clear? Okay. Really? Please, now we have recordings. Go and view the recordings. I have specifically mentioned this point. Before you make such statements, you have to be very, very careful. While we discussed this, I mentioned any committee of the parliament, and I mentioned Narendra Modi, being a member of Lok Sabha, can sit in the Rajya Sabha, can speak in the Rajya Sabha, can take part in any committee of the Rajya Sabha. Please see the recordings. Anyway, we don't have time for all this. So 1, 2, and 3 being the right answer. Okay. Done. Now, when it comes to Attorney General of India, in case you want to read Lakshmikant, feel free. Two important articles. Please tell me which two important articles. Against him, he will file a case against you. So, of course, no important cases here. Done. We are done with the union executive. Now, as we are hearing in the news, from the next session I take in Polity, I'll change this photograph to the new parliament. Let's see if we are able to have the new special session in the new parliament or not. Okay. Till then, the old parliament's photograph stands absolutely perfect. Anyway, now when it comes to you, if you clear the exam, only then will you become a civil servant. And when you are a civil servant, you have to perform to the best of your abilities under either BJP or Congress or CPI or Aam Aadmi Party, right? Any and every party. It does not really matter. That is a role of civil services. Please read the civil service conduct rules and you will find out that a civil servant has to ensure political neutrality. You'll discuss all this in your governance classes. Okay. Now, as far as the organization of parliament is concerned, the very first thing is that have you heard this? All the opposition and media were all constantly fighting that this is violation of constitution, and they were quoting an article. They were constantly quoting an article. This was the article. Article 79. This was being quoted. And what is this article? This article says that the parliament comprises of it also comprises of also called Lok Sabha, and the parliament also comprises of the Bhuvnesh. Does not suit the decorum. The remark that you have made, it could be taken very seriously. Guys, I would request you, fun, jokes, etc. Okay. Please don't make personal remarks against any leader, especially if it relates to caste or religion. You may do it out of ignorance, but sadly, a serious concern, there can be a very genuine case against you on such things. Bhuvnesh, I would tell you, please don't write such things. It is very bad, shameful, extremely shameful that you make these remarks, especially against the President of India. What kind of mentality do we have? Anyway, so Article 79 talks about the Council of States, House of People, and the President all being a part of the Parliament. That is why all the opposition parties were saying that, see, the President's right is being taken away. She is the part of Parliament, Article 79, and this Prime Minister is violating the Constitution. They were quoting Article 79, right? So that is what is this Article 79. So, as I said, very strictly speaking, constitutionally speaking, Parliament comprises of the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and the President. So normally, when we say Parliament, we only think of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. But if it's a constitutional language we are using very strictly, then it should also mean including Parliament, President. Clear? Now, first up is this amazing house called the Lok Sabha, House of People, always fighting, full of commotion, chairs being thrown, placards being shown, papers being thrown here and there, right? So this is the House of People, the Lok Sabha, the lower house, always full of commotion. So in your school days, teachers used to use a word. Whenever teacher used to leave the class and would come back, she would scold us for saying, "You have made the class like a fish market." Remember this phrase? In fact, sometimes this is what seems like uh, for the Lok Sabha. Constant chaos, people speaking, trying to no constantly overpower each other through their voice, shouting. So a bit of sometimes hooliganism also, right? That's so like, see, these are seats where they sit. This area where they are standing, this area, this is called the well of the house. Normally, you're not allowed to come in the well of the house. You can't show all these posters, placards, not allowed. But that's how it is. Anyway, so if you can watch some sessions that are there available in on YouTube, etc., on Lok Sabha website, you will find out that this is a very common sight in the Lok Sabha. Not so much in Rajya Sabha, but in Lok Sabha. Anyway, Lok Sabha. So the composition of Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha has representation from all the states and maximum 530 people. It has representation from the UTs also. UTs stands for Union Territories. And it can also have 2 members belonging to Anglo-Indian community. Direct nomination is also possible. Clear? Now, the maximum permissible strength is 552. But currently, the number from the states is 524. From UTs is 19. And we have no nomination of Anglo-Indians, making the current total membership or the total strength to 543. This is the total membership or strength. Okay, clear? I'll explain why all these things or how are they here. What is the procedure of election? Who is an Anglo-Indian? Don't worry. But right now, let's take a break. Be back at 7 and we'll discuss all these things in detail. Right? Discussing. So, when it comes to the Lok Sabha, right? So, what is the case is we have something called direct elections. So, what are these direct elections? So, now please understand this very patiently. I'll explain through diagrammatic representation also what exactly is the concept of elections in our country. So, this entire country is divided into small parts called constituencies. Okay, constituency. All these, all these, all these are called what? Constituencies. Okay, constituencies, small areas. From each constituency, you have one MP. One MP. So, people of the area who are Indian citizens above 18 of sound mind, etc., they are allowed to vote. Whoever is allowed to vote, they vote and choose one person who represents their interest in the Lok Sabha. Are we clear? Look at this. Say this is Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh divided into two constituencies. Then Rajasthan, Gujarat, in the south, Tamil Nadu, divided into 39 constituencies. 1, 2, 3, 4 till 39 constituencies. So similarly, the entire country is divided into 543 constituencies. Are we clear? Everybody? Right? So what happens is, we have the concept of direct election, both for states as well as UTs. Okay. Now, states, it is mentioned that as per the constitution, there will be direct election. People will vote. But for UTs, this is as per a law. And what's that law? Union territories direct election to House of People Act of 1965. As per this law, in the UTs, elections take place directly, meaning people vote. And the system followed is universal adult franchise, meaning adult suffrage. What is the meaning of universal suffrage? Universal suffrage means voting rights for all, and universal adult suffrage means voting rights for all adults. Voting for all adults. Now, why we mention this is a very important point is because if you look at these Western countries, their voting rights were not given to all the people at one go. Even in a country like USA, voting was initially limited to rich white males, then all the white males, then all the whites, including women, then to blacks, stage by stage. But in India, 1950, with the stroke of a pen, we gave voting rights to all the people. Okay, so this is called universal adult suffrage or franchise, and the voting age is 18. This was earlier 21, reduced from 21 via 61st Amendment Act 1988. Are we clear? This is the system. Now, when we have direct elections in any place, so if you have indirect election, what's the system? Please tell me. What system is followed in case of indirect election? What system is followed in case of indirect election? Proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. But in our country, when you have direct election, we follow a system called first past what? The post. What is the meaning of first past the post? First past the post is a system where, very simple, no complication, whoever gets highest votes, that person is declared the winner. Example. Let's explain this through an example to some of our innocent people here. Think of a constituency, an area from where an MP will be chosen. Let us say total number of voters there are 100 and there are 4 candidates who are contesting election: A, B, C, D. Now A gets 26 votes, B gets 24 votes, C gets 27 votes, D gets 23 votes. Okay. Now, if you observe, nobody here got more than 50% votes. But that's not the point only. First past the post says whoever gets highest votes is declared the winner. Who has obtained the highest votes here? Please tell me. Who is the winner? C is the winner. Are we clear on this? This is what is the system followed. Clear? Okay. So this is the concept of elections at the level of Lok Sabha. And one more thing, you must be observing that look at the size of constituency in the northern part. Very small constituency, size wise. Why? Because constituencies are divided or created on the basis of population. We want that the ratio of number of people to the MP should be largely same across the country. So wherever you have low density of population, larger will be the size of the constituency. Clear? And this is done by keeping in mind 1971 census. We'll discuss that shortly, so don't worry on that. Are we clear on this? Everybody so far? Okay. So that is there. Now, one more point. If you see, Arunachal has 2 constituencies. If you see Tamil Nadu 39, Karnataka 28, UP 80 constituencies. How many constituencies are there in your state? How many constituencies are there in your state? Where is this mentioned? Where is this mentioned? So, number of constituencies in each state. Don't say mentioning Lakshmikant, please. This is mentioned under Schedule 1 of a law called RPA 1950. We'll discuss this law in detail later on. That is called the Representation of People's Act. Okay? Representation of People's Act. RPA 1950. Clear on this? So, number of constituencies in each state and the constituencies, it is depends on population. And which population? 1971 census. Okay. Constituencies are not districts. Let me clarify it. Constituency is not a district. They are two different things. Okay. Constituency is an area from where you have a representation in the parliament. So always remember that the MP in Lok Sabha represents a constituency. So if we don't have constituency only, then how will we elect people randomly? So in an orderly fashion, every area chooses one representative who goes and sits in the Lok Sabha. Are we clear? So this is the concept of having membership in the Lok Sabha. Are we clear on this? Now, who creates constituency, we'll discuss shortly. Don't worry on that. We'll come to that also. Okay. Now, coming to some important points. Before that, see the interesting change of, this is a circle of life. Back in 1984, look at the constituency map. All the blue are the constituencies from where Congress MP won the election. Look at this. 415 seats for Congress, 2 for BJP. Right? Are we clear? 415 for Congress. Look at 2019. How the story changes. 300 plus MPs for BJP. 50 for Congress. Maybe after 10 years, something else will emerge. Nothing is permanent. That's why I say, don't be a fan of any party. Good times and bad times for these parties will come and go, right? All these things will keep on happening. The circle of life continues. Okay. Now, coming to two important elements. First one, how many constituencies are there in India? Guys, how many constituencies? Tell me in total. 543. That's the number of seats. So number of MPs in our country, 543. That's the number of constituencies, 543. Simple. Okay. Now, you saw here that there is a possibility of nominating two people who belong to the Anglo-Indian community. So it is mentioned there. As per Article 331, yes, the President can nominate two members from which community? Anglo-Indian community. Now the question in your mind would be, who is an Anglo-Indian? So see, Anglo-Indians, there's a definition for it, are those people whose father or any other male progenitor, meaning male ancestor, is of European descent. So a lot of these Europeans came to India, settled in India, and then they married in India, had kids. Now, when the Britishers started leaving the country, uh, these people said, well, you are going, we are here only. We can't leave. We are now married here. We have wife, kids, life here. We can't leave. Please help us. So the Britishers said, okay, don't worry. We will request the government. This provision was meant for 10 years only. After every 10 years, this nomination directly appointing two Anglo-Indians was extended. It was extended till 1970, then 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010, 2020. So last time, through the 95th Amendment Act, it was extended till 2020. So when the time came in 2019 to again extend it, the government did not extend it. Why? Government said not extended because population is very small. It is too small to warrant any kind of nomination. So the government said, sorry, there is no need. You're a very small group. To have two seats for such a small group, no, this would not be this would not be possible. Now, Anglo-Indians, as I said, is anyone whose father or male Anglo-Indians, the nomination does not exist anymore. It has ceased to operate or exist. It was there till 2019. I hope this point is clear to everybody. Now, one more thing. We also have reservation for SCs and STs, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in the Lok Sabha. Okay? Scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, reservation in the Lok Sabha. So, as far as this reservation is concerned, this was also meant originally for only 10 years. It has been extended after every 10 years. So, it was meant to be only for 10 years till 1960, then till 1970, extended to be till 80, extended to be till 90, extended to be till 2000, 2010, 2020, and in the year 2019, 104th Amendment Act extended the provision till 2030, 2030. Are we clear? How many seats are reserved for scheduled caste? That is based on the population of scheduled caste in that state. So, for scheduled castes, the number of seats reserved are 84. What this means is, in these seats, which is referred to in dark green here, scheduled castes, scheduled castes. From these seats, only scheduled caste people can contest election. Everybody votes, but because we have universal adult franchise, everybody votes. Simple. But only a scheduled caste person will contest election. And there are, for scheduled tribes, 47 seats reserved. Are we clear on this, everybody? This is the reservation of SCs and STs. For scheduled tribes, it is in light green. Now, it depends on the state's population. So, if you go to a state like UP, UP has 80 constituencies. 80 MPs come from UP. 17 seats are reserved for scheduled castes and no reservation for scheduled tribe. But if you go to a state like, say, MP, in MP there are 29 constituencies. 29 MPs come from MP. Of these people, 4 seats are reserved for scheduled caste, 6 for scheduled tribes. You go to Jharkhand, 14 seats are there. 1 seat for scheduled caste, 5 for scheduled tribe. If you go to some northeastern states, look at Arunachal. Arunachal Pradesh has only 2 constituencies, 2 seats, and both are reserved for scheduled tribes. You go to a state like, say, Manipur. In Manipur, there are 2 seats, 1 reserved for scheduled tribe. You go to Meghalaya. Meghalaya has 2 seats, and both reserved for scheduled tribes. You go to, say, a state like Mizoram. Mizoram has only 1 seat that is reserved for scheduled tribe. So, reservation is based on population of that community in the state. Are we clear on this? No problem. Okay. Maria, it is 104th Amendment Act of 2019 only, not 2020. Okay. Guys, reservation criteria, good, bad, etc. We'll discuss it later on when we study reservation in jobs and education under fundamental rights. Right now, need not delve into that detail. Just understand that there are some seats from where only certain people can contest elections. Simple. Are we clear? Everybody. Okay. No, we are not supposed to remember how many times it was extended. Contest election means soyap. Contest election, to fight election, to stand up for election. Okay, that's new, but nevertheless. Okay. Now, just to also add a point here, in your state, so I mentioned the example of say Jharkhand or MP, say Bihar, for example. In Bihar, there are 40 constituencies, 40 seats, of which 6 seats are reserved for scheduled caste and none for scheduled tribe. My point is, where is all this mentioned? In your state, how many seats are reserved for scheduled caste, how many for scheduled tribe? Where is this mentioned? This is mentioned in the same schedule 1 of RPA 1950. So, in each state plus number of reserved seats for SCs and scheduled tribes. Are we clear? Okay. So, how many seats for scheduled castes? 84. How many for scheduled tribe? 47. Done. We are done with the basic information on the Lok Sabha. Now, coming to Council of States, Upper House or the Rajya Sabha. So, as far as Rajya Sabha is concerned, the maximum strength of Rajya Sabha, maximum possible strength, right, which is possible, permissible, allowed, is 238 from states and UTs, and 12 can be nominated. But currently, we have 225 from states, 8 from various UTs, and 12 are nominated. And let me just tell you something. In Rajya Sabha, representation of not all UTs, only 3 UTs currently. So in Rajya Sabha, only the UT of Delhi, 3 seats, UT of Pondicherry, 1 seat, and UT of Jammu and Kashmir, 4 seats. Only these UTs are represented. And we know that the nomination of some members in the Rajya Sabha, that is 12 people, is there. And the current total strength or membership is how much? 245. This is the current total membership or strength. Are we clear? Okay. So this is with respect to the maximum membership in the Rajya Sabha. Now, how are these MPs in the Rajya Sabha elected? So we do not vote in the election of Rajya Sabha. We don't vote. Point number 1. There is no concept of constituencies in Rajya Sabha. Are we clear? Constituency is a concept only in Lok Sabha, not in Rajya Sabha. So in Rajya Sabha, the election is indirect, meaning clearly we don't vote. Then who votes? Members are elected by the elected members of the state assemblies, MLAs. So MLAs are members in a state. In the first class only I had shown you the diagram, Karnataka example. So we'll discuss MLAs later on. MLAs are people who are chosen at the state level by people, us only. These MLAs of that state will vote and choose which people will go and represent that state in the Rajya Sabha. Clear? So if you are an MP in Rajya Sabha, you have been chosen by MLAs of some state. So you will represent the entire state in the Rajya Sabha. For example, Nirmala Sitharaman is an MP in the Rajya Sabha from Karnataka. This means MLAs of Karnataka have voted for her. So she represents the interest of the entire state of Karnataka in Rajya Sabha. Are we clear? Everybody? So one very, very important point to observe here is this. Rajya Sabha is the representation of states in the parliament. Meaning MPs of Rajya Sabha represent the interest of entire state. Okay? Not small area. But MP of Lok Sabha is representing that small area only from where the people have voted. And because the MP of Rajya Sabha is chosen by the MLAs of the state, he is not an MLA. He is chosen by MLAs of the state. This means what? He or she is representing what? The interest of the entire state. Clear? That is why Rajya Sabha is the idea of federalism in the country. States' interest, aspirations, needs are also represented there. Clear? So this is how we have election in the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Direct, indirect. Clear? All Indian citizens can contest. Now, if an MLA wants to vote for you, you should be a popular person. MPs of Rajya Sabha are not MLAs. Are you hearing what I am saying? MPs of Rajya Sabha are not MLAs. MLAs are voting for these some people who want to contest elections and become MP of Rajya Sabha. Are we clear? They are not MLAs. Clear? Please ignore MLCs for now. Has been given some constituencies, or rather every state is divided into some constituencies. Similarly, in the Rajya Sabha, every state has been given some seats in the Rajya Sabha. That Andhra Pradesh, you will have how many seats? 11 seats. Telangana, you will have 7 seats. Jharkhand, 6 seats. Goa, 1 seat. West Bengal, 16 seats. MP, 11 seats. UP, 31 seats. States like Sikkim, Mizoram, Tripura, Nagaland, Manipur, only 1 seat. Where is all this mentioned? This is mentioned in Schedule 4 of the Constitution. Are we clear? Allocation of seats in the Council of States is mentioned in the Constitution, not in some other law like RPA. Clear? Constitution. And this is also based on population only. So you can see that a state like Nagaland or Sikkim, or say, which has a very low population, has only 1 seat. And UP, West Bengal, which have very high population, have a very high number of seats. It is always based on population only. Okay? Are we clear? Yes, Anurag, to make any modification in the maximum limit, it requires a constitutional amendment. Done. So this is the Schedule 4, which comprises of list of all the states and number of seats given to those states, including the UTs. Yes, including the UTs, of course. Now, one small question, let me ask you. Why only these 3 UTs are represented? Tell me. Common sense. Why only these 3 UTs are represented? Yes, absolutely correct. These 3 UTs have assembly, because to vote you require MLAs, and only 3 UTs, Delhi, Pondicherry, and JNK, have assembly. These 3 UTs have representation in the Rajya Sabha. Other UTs do not have a legislative assembly. Clear? Very good. Excellent. So this is there. Now let's also just conclude again. Nominated members. Rajashri, this question was addressed in the Article 54 itself, way back in the very first class. Please refer to that. Nominated members, I think we have seen this slide multiple times. So there are 12 members who are nominated from various fields, people who have special knowledge or practical experience in the field of art, in the field of literature, science, and social service. So this is article not really important, Article 80, Clause 3. So this is the former Chief Justice of India, Justice Ranjan Gogoi. This is the Dr. Rakesh Sinha, right? An academician. So who is this person? Please, people from Tamil Nadu, don't write. North Indians, I want to know, who is this person? I said people from Tamil Nadu or say Kerala, etc., don't write. Okay, great that some of you know. Ashok Gehlot. Ashay, very good here. Excellent. Ashay, can you tell me which class or which college year are you in? So, for those who do not know, you should know. He is a 5-time national award winner. Padma Vibhushan Ilayaraja. Very, very famous musician, music composer, Ilayaraja. Okay. So, anyway, in fact, I think, if I'm not wrong, the last movie that he gave music for was Viduthalai, starring Vijay Sethupathi, right? Part 1, Part 2. Okay. So, yes, Vetrimaran's movie. Vetrimaran is known to make movies which take on the police and show the very harsh side of police, right? Including Visaranai, that very famous movie. This person is Dr. Rakesh Sinha. Suomo, come on, Suomo. Look at what you are writing. How did Madam Nirmala Sitharaman become finance minister as a member of Rajya Sabha? Any person who is a MP of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha can become a minister. Come on. Okay, nominated members. Nagendran. No, sir, I don't know Tamil. Only, sir, Kunjum Tamil pesare. Not more than that. Just to have basic conversation. Nothing more than that. It's a difficult language for me to learn, but still. Okay. Now, just a small point, and we'll end our discussion here today, and then we'll discuss answer writing. So, delimitation of constituencies. What is delimitation? So, delimitation means if I'm saying that this will be the size of the constituency and people inside this area will vote and choose one MP. Who decides this size? This size is decided by a body called Delimitation Commission, or also popularly called a Boundary Commission. And the task of drawing boundaries is called delimitation. So when you say we are drawing constituencies, we can also say we are delimiting the constituencies. So delimitation is the act of redrawing boundaries of Lok Sabha and the state assembly seats to represent changes in population. But currently, the number of seats in the parliament is fixed at 1971 census. Why? Because if we use a current census, then northern states will have way more MPs in the Lok Sabha, giving them an undue advantage, much to the disadvantage of the MPs in the south or the southern states. Clear? This delimitation is done under the provision of Article 82. So what is this body? Delimitation Commission. This is an independent body. This body comprises of one retired Supreme Court judge, the Chief Election Commissioner of the country, ECI, and in every state there is a separate person who is known as State Election Commissioner. This person is there in every state, SEC. This is also a constitutional body. The task of this person is to conduct elections to the panchayats and municipalities. That's why you must not have heard of him, right? So when we study panchayats, we'll explain this person also. Just for now, know that the Delimitation Commission comprises of three people: the retired Supreme Court judge, CEC, and the SEC, State Election Commissioner. Now, what's the function of this body? Two functions. Function number one: determine number of boundaries, determining the size of constituencies, the boundary of constituencies, determining boundaries of constituencies, number one. And number two, to determine SC/ST seats. Which seats will be reserved for scheduled caste, which for scheduled tribes, this commission decides. And very, very important, when this commission says that this seat is reserved for scheduled caste, that order of the commission is final. No change whatsoever can be made. So if this commission says that, let's say, this is a seat reserved for, say, scheduled tribe, final. The parliament, the assembly, nobody can make any change in this. In fact, you cannot even challenge this in the court. Are we clear? It is an independent body whose orders cannot be challenged in any court of law. You cannot challenge an award given by the Delimitation Commission. Are we clear? Supreme Court has also said this in the Meghraj Kothari case 1967, in the MS Gill case 1978, in the Ponnuswamy case 1952. Various judgments are there where Supreme Court says that Delimitation Commission or Boundary Commission, where what they say is final, please don't come to us for challenging their awards or decisions. Clear? Whenever they make any order, the order has to be placed before the Lok Sabha and the state assemblies, right? But any modification is not allowed because their award is final. So what they decide is final. Are we clear? This can't, why will it be misused? These are independent people with no biasness, etc. So why would they misuse this power? What is their advantage, right? Suomo, again, sir, are you not paying attention to what I'm saying? You are saying this commission determines the constituency body for Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now, please tell me. One aspirant says that this commission determines the constituencies for Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. What do you have to say? Yes or no? Others? Do we have the concept of constituency in Rajya Sabha? Tell me. No concept of constituency in Rajya Sabha. The constituencies are only meant for Lok Sabha. In Rajya Sabha, MPs represent the entire state, right? Anyway, so that is with respect to delimitation commission. Okay, solve this question. Last question for the day. Correct. The orders of the commission cannot be challenged in any court of law. Answer. Okay, done. Article is mentioned here. Please revise the notes. That is very important. Sadhana, every MP of Rajya Sabha comes from a state where the MLAs have chosen him and he or she represents the interest of the state in the House. That is all the information we need for the exam and beyond. Nothing more than that is required. No need for research. Bhuvnesh, constituencies are there in Jammu and Kashmir. Please look at the map and see it. Okay. Anubhav, what 43 is because in UP Karnataka slide, you will get a difference. But before that, I would like to, question, it's okay. That's something you can do on your own. We have on answer for yourself. It's time. Download RPA, see to your heart's content while writing answers. I have explained everything. Then you can ask your queries. What do I do with this? Answer writing? And the most basic principles of answer writing. The first three principles that you need to understand irrespective of which paper you're writing answer for. So as I said, see, this is the explanation that I'm giving to you with respect to general answer writing also and specifically on polity later on. But this is largely general answer writing. Now, one more disclaimer. If somebody else has given you some different opinion, it is also okay. This is my opinion, so don't try to place some other faculty against me and me against them. Don't do all this nonsense. You are here to learn. So people can have difference of opinion. And if somebody here feels that no, this is my opinion is different, you are free to have your own opinion. Okay. Now, three things that are extremely important, which need to be followed irrespective of what you are doing. Number one, please use simple language to write the answer. Number two, please respect the word limit. So in our examination, there are two types of questions. One, 10 questions, 150 words. Other 10 questions, 250 words. It is mandatory to remain within the word limit. Plus 5, okay. But plus 10, 15, 20, not okay. Clear? That's the whole point. Can you express yourself within the limited confines of word limit or not? Okay. This is going to be a huge challenge because of our college examination structure, where we are told fill up pages, get more marks. That's not how things work in UPSC. The word limit is given for a reason. Are you or do you have the skill to express yourself in a confined word space or not? And number three, write what is asked. Not what you know. Like in our college examinations, this is our habit. What we do is that the moment we get the paper, we find some keyword and we start vomiting on everything we know about the keyword, because the idea is to fill up the pages. In UPSC, this will not work. Are we clear? This will not work at all. So please don't write useless information. Don't try to show off your knowledge there, because right now you may know, oh, I have come to know what is Article 74. I should write it somewhere in the answer. Somehow I have to show it. Don't worry. There are 20 questions, ample opportunity to show your knowledge. Okay. And these quoting articles, etc., is a very basic information which every civil servant should know or every aspirant should know. So nothing special, even if you quote an article, nothing special. Don't expect bonus marks on these things. So rather than wasting your words, please use words in a very, very precise fashion because it's limited. The question asked way back in the year 2014. In President is commuting death sentence. Remember, we were discussing this point, denial of justice. This question talks about commutation of death sentences. Please don't start writing the president under Article 72 has 5 different parts: pardon, reprieve, respite, remission, commutation. Pardon means this, respite means it is not required only. It is not asked only. Please don't waste words. That's what I meant when I said write what is asked, not what you know. I hope this point is clear. Now, what next? Then, in point format, I mean to say that see, there's this basic, I think you'd all appreciate this point also, that there's a basic understanding amongst us that we tend to write in paragraphs because we don't know the points, right? That's the whole idea. So the evaluator also understands this concept that you chose to write in paragraphs because maybe you don't know very clearly the points. So let us prefer writing in point format, points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It also makes the answer more neat, and it also ensures that your points, all the sides of the argument are put very neatly and cleanly. Now, of course, there can be a situation where you may not know those points. I fully agree. So maybe 70-30, 70% answers in the points and 30% answers prefer writing in what? In paragraph form. That should be the idea. Are you clear? So this is what we expect. 30% point format, maybe 30% can be in paragraphs also. A 360-degree approach, what we call as AB de Villiers style of answer writing. Link your answer to as many topics as possible: the social angle, economic angle, international relations ramification, ethical angle, etc. The more you can link, the more all the subjects. So this is going to take some time. Okay, some time. Then you are being selected to the civil services. So of course you have to understand that the evaluator is looking for somebody who is able to exhibit a very positive frame of mind, right? You should not have a negative frame of mind. Always approach, which would also mean, number one, please try to remain neutral as much as possible. Please do not quote any kind of opposite. Never be critical, because every we give to Swiggy, oh, this is the most. So always exhibit this kind of approach only. So we say develop empathy. What is empathy? Putting yourself in somebody else's point of somebody else's shoes. Putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. That's called developing empathy. And number three, you have to always focus on the larger good of the society. So your answers should reflect this. Focus on that capitalists are the way to go, but of the poor, the weaker section. Firstly, there's a misconception that you do, or but we have to also have solutions. Offer viable solutions. Viable meaning possible solutions plus offer viable, that is, or possible, or practical. Practical suggestions, which is not possible. If your suggestion involves spending huge sums of money, that's a wrong suggestion. For a suggestion like this, it is not a very viable suggestion. If you say, let's go for automation everywhere, no, automation jobs, then what will you do? Is that whatever you do, please never ever go outside the framework of the constitution. That will come off as very, very negative, right? So we are seeing all these reports, etc., whatever your leanings are, etc., that, oh, this constitution, copy work of the constitution, if work of this constitution, this respect needs to be visible on the paper. Otherwise, no. Immediate no. Okay. Then, now coming to one more important point, which is the structure of your answer. Let's write here, structure is of 150 words, the other is of 250 words. Now, normally the simplest of structure completely become confident on this structure. So, intro, body, conclusion. Now, in a 150 word answer, please don't write a 30 word introduction. 15 to 20 words. Don't cross that. That's you have to summarize your introduction. In fact, conclusion. Otherwise, what happens is you will have to put in lot of as a conclusion only. So in that case, your conclusion, your rest of the words mean points in part, which we normally don't here. This focus on right now and what to focus on later. Two things that you need to follow right now, right from day one. You have to focus on these two that you can collect, and trying to write all that in just 150 or 250 words. Never write from your word go. Don't cross 150 words. Don't cross 250 words. That should be your practice from day one. Now, then we can slowly start incorporating a proper structure to ensure that I follow this kind of structure. Intro, body, conclusion, experiment a bit. Then you move forward and follow or focus on choice of words. Choice of words is very important. It reflects who you are. So always, but don't write this. Police is corrupt. Write it, but in a different form. It is largely believed that police is corrupt. It is alleged that police is corrupt. In popular public perception, police don't personalize the issues. They are generic and general issues. So a lot of things can reflect in your choice of words, your personality. And see, all these things can be improved, largely content, etc., by reading, improving all these things. One is your next target should be to make your answer grammatically correct without or free from any spelling mistake. A longer sentence, shorter sentences have the advantage of this possibility of avoiding grammatical errors, and spellings are very important. That is actually a criminal offense. Use that. If I say no, I tend to ignore handwriting. All no, that is let's say you don't go to the gym and you have gained some. They also, let's say, words, proper spaces, neat. That is time management. priority in descending order, meaning top priority is content, then word limit, then structure, then choice of words. Last is time. If all these things fall into place, you will always improve upon your time. For the first 50-60 things, do not worry, don't worry on time. That could also no one more, every answer you write should be written on the page format that UPSC offers to us, meaning a blank A4 sheet size page with margin on both the sides. You'll get etc. Partying, wasting time, eating pizza, burger. You can purchase the UPSC boring. You will slowly get to know that when you write your answer, because of your font size, your word spacing, etc., your 150 words end up my one mental picture. Are we clear? That's how you practice. So please count your words in the first 40-50 answers. On the answer sheet that you write, please write the time and words. Very like this only. Get on this task. Come on. Simple. And what are those two things? PYQs. The good thing is that all the PYQs have been recorded in your tablet by me only. So please see the video first, then write the answer. But write the answer. That is false. Okay? How will you improve? Don't wait for that day that your first answers are going to be bad. That's okay. Clear? When you go to a gym to build your muscle, 5 kgs only. On the PYQs, for example, you must have written by Sunday night, including the test. Are we clear? And send all your answers to Target IS for evaluation. Points are understood by everybody. And as far as two things are concerned, see, uh, when you write answers, you can use short forms. Short forms, for example, let us say there is a word for today's class only. We were using this word cabinet committee. So what you can do is in your introduction, writing cabinet committee, like writing government, etc. That is okay. Don't worry. If somebody says it's wrong, no, nonsense. It is not wrong. It's all okay. Don't create your own short forms there, which are never used anywhere. So that can confuse the. Expect you to write an answer for this question. We have studied everything about these. Please write the answer for this. Please write this answer and with respect to the recordings of the PYQs. Notes for polity. No, very important question is 50 to 60% marks. That is considered very, very good. So don't be depressed when you get 4 out of 10. These are decent marks. All I start writing answers. That will never happen. Start writing. Eventually, it all boils down to practice. Clear? Material, fodder, knowledge on how to present words. That's how it happens. Let's take this question. Instances of precedence delay. In this, explain what is commutation. Question asked in 2014 was because of Shatrughan Chauhan judgment. Chauhan verdict. Supreme Court came down heavily upon the government for taking too much time in deciding on these clemency petitions. That's it. When you take too much time, are you not demeaning the entire process? Are you not subjecting the person to mental trauma, mental torture, double jeopardy? It is dehumanizing. Are you also not making the victim suffer? Right? Conclusion, you can mention how in the Shatrughan Chauhan case, Supreme Court has said that if the government does not, we will make a separate pardon board. Simplest of formats. Please write the answer. Are we clear? Is not cheating, you write the answer. Questions. They have 200 words. Don't. This question, ordinances, write in 250 words. 250 words, it's mentioned there. Resorting to ordinances, 250 words. Clear? Make diagrams, etc. Of course. Of course. flow charts, etc. Of course, we can do all these things. Effect, which is a UPSC standard answer writing book, which is separate from your notes, a separate answer writing notebook of the Constitution. Our suggestions should not result in violation of any provision of the Constitution. I there and find out the PYQ section. There, all the PYQs have been recorded. Have to get the permission of the government. Ask you gives our constitutional framework. Hey guys, I think that is all